This is the second FFA cast this week. FFA Masters League continues, and we got 4 amazing players on a new map. Already confused by where people are starting. Guys, lead me in. What's happening and what's happening where?
I think it's really interesting that LawLiet already adjusted a little bit to the FFA meta by picking Tinker first, which is really cool to see. Also, his build order seems very solid with the Agent of War next to the gold mine, going for the fast expansion. Everything pretty much textbook perfect FFA meta style. So that's amazing to see, and yeah, great to have such a guy in our game. Unfortunately, in the worst position, as you can see, he's surrounded. To his left, there is Fetta. To his right, there is Gradient. So yeah, he has to do some cross-map expanding or some early rushing, both of which he should be perfectly capable of.
I'm already confused. How do you know who's who?
I mean, we have 2 elves, and the 2 elves are Gradient and LawLiet, and you can instantly see Gradient building a line of Moonwells, and LawLiet is, and that's something we don't see any regular FFA players do to build their base to start building their base at the very front on Market Square. It has the disadvantage here in LawLiet's case that those Moonwells can be killed very quickly, and the altar also. So you usually start by building like some Moonwells farther in the back, so you're not as exposed, and then maybe like some production farther up front. But so that's the main indicator. But maybe he's just pretending to be Gradient. We don't know. And Gradient is pretending to be LawLiet.
I mean, Gradient is also known as the architect, so we will see this in a couple of minutes, I guess.
Yeah. And Gradient already going for the second expo here. On Market Square, everyone has, in a 4-way game, everyone has 2 mid expansions, and everyone has 1 red spot expansion on the outside, which has a bit more gold and can be crept later on. And usually in this, with the spawns that we see here, usually players tend to go clockwise with their second expansion, but that doesn't really work out because LawLiet took the corner here. LawLiet could have been nice and could have taken this expo, but since he had his Engine of War in the corner, it made sense for him to take this. And now Fetta needs to go cross-map for his second expansion.
We also see quite a lot of archers by LawLiet, not too typical for FFA. I think with the level 3 Tinker, he should now take this advantage of the biggest army and go to the middle as fast as possible. So yeah, let's see if he will do that.
Alright, I'm still tinkering with the overlay to display the players' colors to everyone, but we'll get there. You just keep on talking.
Yeah, no worries. Like it's more work with 4 players.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the build of Fetta. He skips the barracks and instead goes for 3 assassins, which have poison damage. No slow damage though, I think.
Fetta might be out here in a second.
Yeah, I mean, LawLiet is surrounded, so this is a totally legit play, I would say. Even though it's not the most common play.
And I mean, this is something Fetta could have seen coming, I guess. LawLiet takes a lot of damage here on his Tinker, so Fetta might be able to force him back for some time, but still he needs to prepare now for a follow-up attack, and as usual for Orc, he may struggle with lumber quite quickly if once he's tier 2 and then wants to get all his buildings up.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage of rushing in FFA, because as you can see, the other players even start creeping the red camps. There is no marketplace on this map.
There's no marketplace on Market Square. What's that?
Exactly. So every item will be only available once for each spot. So fighting early is usually not the best idea. You rather want to get the XP for free and also the important high-value items, because there are so many red spots.
It's an amazing map, honestly, although like I guess most players either hate it or love it, but it's one of the most classic FFA and 4v4 maps. It's not really that balanced, I would say. On the other hand, Orc, arguably a weaker race in FFA. Usually Orc players like this map for their items and creeping opportunities, not so much for the lumber, because there's no shredder here, which obviously is a huge disadvantage. But it's just a beautiful map, I think, still after all those years.
We might see a creep check here coming in. LawLiet, will he get the middle in time? No, it doesn't look like. Maybe the Panda could take it with the breath.
Yeah.
Ooh, Tom of Power.
Yeah. He does a Tom of Power really nice here for Calculus. But I'm really happy to see this creep jack here in the middle and not LawLiet following up his attack on Fetta, who by the way got his Tauren totems up and is starting to produce his first Tauren. So I guess might be much harder now for LawLiet to attack again with archers, unless he's really producing a bigger mass.
Well, he got the hit
Yeah,
for
for everyone who
Riders up.
doesn't know, we saw a Tom of Power here, which is pretty much just +1 level. So if the Archmage would pick up the Tom of Power now, he would be level 6 already. But yeah, he jumped from 4 to 5, and that's already very nice.
Okay, I think everything is settled. It's kind of rare to see Orc in FFA, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't seen it too often. It's usually a lot of Undead, Night Elf, and Human.
Yeah, I mean, Orc is definitely the race most difficult to play in FFA, because Orc has great hero killing opportunities with high level heroes, but the biggest disadvantage is the first of all the anti-air of Orc. Like bats are not really cost efficient once you're up against chimeras, for example, with 3 defense upgrades. So it's really hard to sustain air superiority with it. And second, like lumber is so lumber is so difficult to gain for orcs. So
yeah, and orcs need a lot of gold, because if they are relying on bat riders, which are not cost efficient, they pretty much always need to have the most gold. Because on the other hand, bats are great because you get immediate experience on your heroes and your opponent doesn't. So you're pretty much trading gold for XP, even though not in the most efficient way, but still, yeah. At least now he gets the second base here with the Tiny Great Tower, which is a great choice.
And we see LawLiet just rambling around, and that's something we see very often by solo players that are not used to FFA for a longer time. I mean, we have a lot of one-on-one pros that have been playing FFA for some time and adopted. But what LawLiet is doing here, just attacking Fetta first, then creep checking Calculus in the middle, and now killing the Expo of Gradient, makes no sense. Like, he's not gaining any advantage, he's just losing time. He didn't get any XP by killing that Expo, and he's not creeping, so his levels are fine due to that creep check in the middle, but still, like, there's no point really in doing that. He yeah, you really see the difference, although it didn't hurt him that significantly here.
Yeah, he will pretty much just put the aggression on him, because if you're in Fetta's shoes, you remember, okay, this guy attacked me. If you're in Calculus' shoes, you remember, okay, this guy creep checked me. And Gradient thinks, okay, this guy killed my expansion. And suddenly you are up 3v1. So, yeah,
and then
be careful with whom you attack.
And LawLiet is not the player to do that. Like, I know him well, but that's why, especially in ladder, in some cases, players are being accused of teaming just because, like, in this case, the one-on-one player is not realizing that they caused this aggression at some point in the game. So they rushed someone, killed an Expo, and then those players attack back once they have an army, and it, like, they perceive it as teaming, while it's just like a counter attack. So that's what happens really, really often by players that are not that familiar to FFA.
Some interesting items here. Kalen's Dagger of Escape, something we see in Dota, but not in 1-on-1. Looking forward to... Wait, do we have a TC? No, right?
Not yet, but he will get one, and he has double dagger.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if I mean, I've seen it, I think, a couple of times in market, but it's very rare to see like 2 daggers.
Yeah, and sure Mountain King also has a dagger.
Oh yeah.
That would be fun. And I mean, Calculus here, the human, is in a perfect position, right? Like, he has the entire half of the map on his own. I don't think LawLiet will take a red spot Expo here, which he could. So Yeah, he's in a prime spot.
Ah, Fetta did pick up the item to the left, right? Because LawLiet doesn't have any red spell item.
Yeah, I think he did earlier.
Yeah, and that's not a disadvantage for LawLiet. As you can see, he has no high value item, while the other players, everyone has very nice items, like the Mountain King inventory is very strong, and as well as Gradient.
Yeah, look at the panda of Gradient. Double pendant of energy and gas pipe.
Nice.
And also dagger of escape on the Tinker. I didn't see that. So do we have 4 daggers of escape?
Wow, yes.
Yep.
What are the chances that you get them like that? I mean, there are 5 items that can be dropped in the corner.
I'm not sure. Over Frost, dagger.
I thought it's 4 or 5, but I think it's 4. So like the chances are.
I thought for a second that it might be a guaranteed drop on this map, because of course I'm super not familiar, but yeah, this will be some jumping around, House of Pain 90s style.
Yeah, and we see another attack here by LawLiet, and I'm really surprised that Gradient, and we can witness this impressive base layout, which is definitely Gradient and not LawLiet. Yeah, we can see him pumping units now, and he spent a lot of time on 50 supply. But due to losing that expo early, he's still pretty low on gold. Surprised to see that, and yeah.
Yeah, everyone going now in upkeep, except Keltulas. Because Keltulas is on the other side of the map and doesn't really have the needs, because everything is cool there and chill. So yeah, he's creeping, but I still think he will pump rather soonish, because he needs the experience.
Yeah. And I'm really not sure what LawLiet is doing and if he has a plan here. He's going for that red spot, but he could, like he is on 80 supply for quite a long time now, and he has only killed like 2 expos of Gradient that he will just rebuild. But it's not really an attack, so I'm not sure what he was attempting. And now we see exactly what we mentioned, like LawLiet just killed another base of another expo of Gradient, and now Fetta is moving in. So let's see what he can do.
Yeah, looks like a pretty tough fight with only a couple of Hippo Riders against Tauren, and the Bat Riders are coming in against them. Nice protection scrolls though. Panda's doing quite some damage, so LawLiet needs all the heroes in the world. The TC won't stomp, and Fetta getting out of here. I think the one-on-one skills of LawLiet prevailing for now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, he has Healed Spray, which of course is a great counter to bats. So I don't really see Fetta. I don't see Fetta winning this one-on-one. But he has 2 expos cross map here, and I don't see LawLiet as a player who would finish Fetta. So I think even if Fetta loses the one-on-one here in his corner, I think he has a good chance to rebuild on the other side of the map.
Yeah, and since LawLiet aggroed pretty much both players, to both of his neighbors, Keltulas is still free to hoard gold. So yeah, maybe someone should take care of him as well sometimes.
Like Gradient has usually great map awareness, and is not just... So unlike yesterday, where we saw like a quick free win by one player, I don't think this will happen on this map here due to map size and due to players being a bit more aware. But yeah, Fetta is having a hard time here against LawLiet.
Who doesn't? All these rockets, man. We know this. He loves the goblin combo in one-on-one sometimes when he's trolling, and now he can play a legitimate Tinker and Alchemist combo. It's not so far off, right? It's not like an Ultra Cheese. To me, it makes sense to build that combo.
I mean, all those heroes are, like, I would say the meta heroes, but usually you would not pick Alchemist first, but Keeper or something.
Oh, it's all dead. Oh.
So usually you need like a Keeper third or something, so he may struggle against the human later without like any stun but the rockets. But we will see. I guess Fetta needs to get out of here and needs to stop pumping bats here.
Decent split so far. I guess we'll see some more acid bombs soon. Any other action? No, just creeping, just mining. And LawLiet and Fetta. Oh, once again the combo and the TC died for the second time. I was so much looking forward to the Fetta TC, and now he's in the altar all the time.
Yeah, Fetta needs to get out of this corner here. I think he has he should just try to rebuild either bottom left or right. I'm not sure if the human will allow him to rebuild, because there's no incentive for him to keep the orc in the game. But sometimes you can rebuild in this situation and just get out of that corner.
Yeah, interesting that human is not taking his third expansion. Also, he's only mining the 4 guys here. So...
Ooh, and Fetta is leaving. Poor Fetta.
No GG, sad.
Oh, he wrote GG. At least I saw.
No rebuilding. Oops.
Okay. What to say? Who would not GG?
Yeah, of course. Everybody GG's all the time.
And LawLiet is doing the best thing that he could do. He's getting here the Wisp in place and also building up this expansion. So yeah, that's really important for him. Now he got great levels and lacking a little bit behind in gold. But if we compare it to Keltulas, who was not fighting at all, he has way more gold, he has way better items, and he has pretty much the same hero levels. So this is why rushing in FFA is pretty much not helping too much.
Yeah. So the best thing for LawLiet would be if Keltulas and Gradient are fighting against each other and he can build a little bit, but that will probably not happen.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen, depends on the scouting here, but I mean, Gradient and Keltulas now know that LawLiet is a strong player, so they might be able to, like, they can fight each other, but they certainly want to see LawLiet's army first in order to avoid that we see exactly the same scenario as yesterday, that all of a sudden LawLiet arrives in your main base with like 100 supply chimeras and you're caught off guard.
I'm not sure if LawLiet's English is good enough for Gradients to understand him. Go one fight.
Yeah, we see classic Gradient English here. And we will see, like, I think this is a good fight for Gradient to take. He wants some XP on his heroes, and it's
but
very
the hero
hard.
combo triple AoE is so hard to fight.
Yeah, but I think he can take up the fight. He has way more supply in pure hippos.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not losing everything, but...
Let's see what the AoE is doing here. Big fight for sure, but also big AoEs. Everything is clumped up. Nobody has any idea what is happening in this fight. It's a mess. A bloody mess, one can say. But yeah, not too much left for Gradient, I guess, for now.
Ooh, and the Tinker might be forced into the in-roll. Yeah.
Oh, very cool fight. Very nice.
Beauty of a fight. Panda of Gradient is in trouble and nothing to save himself. Whoopsie, stunned again. But this time there's a staff and the Tinker gets out. Level 654, LawLiet survives, got 5 bases. Now in a good spot.
Yeah, LawLiet has a very interesting main layout, I think. Like, he should definitely get some more Moonwells. I think, yeah, some more Moonwells in the back, a second shot maybe can help, but yeah, Gradient stayed in for too long, and now Geass Calculus is arriving here with Gyros, and of course Gyros will be a good meal for those Panda and Tinker rockets.
Oh yeah. Let's see if the town portal goes through. Oh no! Killed it last second, otherwise it would have been the next fight here for LawLiet, but just a split second too quick. All these flying machines with the upgrades.
Yeah, I'm curious how LawLiet will deal with this Gyros. It's pretty hard to micro this Gyros versus 2 AoE heroes. Let's see.
Yeah, but that was not a good Thunder rocket, so we'll see. I think he's still, like, he's able to kill all the Gyros here.
Yeah, and it's so expensive in the gold count. One supply, 100 gold. Oh, he's not microing at all.
No, not at all. He's getting a level here, and that's, I mean, at this stage you just want to convert you don't really want to kill a player, you just want to convert your gold into XP most, like, as efficiently as you can. And he just wants Archmage to level 6 and not feed his enemy too much here.
But against 2 Tinkers, is it really that effective to go for mass teleport? I guess then you rather teleport into a situation than try to get out of a situation?
Yeah, for sure. Like you want to be able to mass teleport around the map, either to kill off exposed buildings or to mass teleport with 100 supply armies into elf main bases, which is like, not that fun for the elf still, despite nerf tanks. But yeah, mass TP is still arguably the best spell in the game for FFA, especially on bigger maps because you're so mobile. You just don't have to walk anymore, and the best human players in FFA usually tend to not walk anymore at all once they get to it, so they just mass teleport around.
Oh, I'd love that in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with Keltulas making more and more gyros. I think the window for gyros is now over with level 6, 2 level 6 heroes, Tinker and Panda. So he should switch to tanks and griffins.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think, I mean, it's hard to say, right? I mean, he wants Archmage to level 6, and I mean tanks aren't less mobile here, and not a good way to get XP also against the AOE.
Yeah, and that's again the biggest weakness of LawLiet, switching again, attacking great in the pit, while getting attacked now back.
Yeah, there was absolutely no reason here to attack Gradient. I don't think Gradient wanted to attack him back.
Oh man, that wasn't a good timing indeed. Now we got the fight here once more. Inner Fire Griffins, not the worst, and of course LawLiet heard already from the previous fight. Down to 50 supply now. Heroes are not looking that healthy anymore. We have a little bit more mana for the spells, but fight should end relatively soon. Can LawLiet hold?
Ooh, Alchemist.
Yeah, we just see so many gyros. I mean, this is like 2.5k gold again dying, I think. Wow, I think...
Oh, the dagger! Oh my god, I've never seen a Robo Tinker die, I think, ever in my life.
And that's level 6 for the Archmage, so he got what he wanted. So now the question is, will LawLiet just... Like, that's one of the disadvantages also for him, that his enemies know that he is pretty low on gold. So you know he won't hoard. So unlike Gradient, who is now on 50 supply and 5 mines, so Gradient will be up to 15k in no time. You always know that against a player like LawLiet, he will never hoard that much gold because he just wants to fight.
Guys, it's so funny.
Now really 100 supply, full aggression, pumping through.
It's so funny to me that for like the past 2.5 years, LawLiet is complaining that human is too strong in one-on-one, and now I see him play the first FFA, and the first thing he types is human wins GG. Love it.
Yeah, but Gradient responded that he will help a bit, which in Gradient's terms means he's just sitting on 50 supply in a corner and outing a little. But he's not going to help anytime soon. Why would he? Like even if Keltulas is trying to kill off LawLiet, it will take him another 10 minutes. And by that point, knowing that Keltulas is on 100 supply now, Gradient will be way ahead in gold. So
yeah, take a look at this gold counter going on.
Yeah.
And also there's like 2 gold mines very, very close to him, maybe even 3. So yeah, it will be a fight on the right-hand side there, I guess. Big blizzard, but just too much and too easy to replace. Rocket's kinda nice, holds on to this. Big losses for Keltulas, but he's still at 38. 83? Yeah, 83, that's what it is.
A really bad micro here by him. Why is he keeping his gyros here? There's absolutely no reason to not dealing any damage to those.
Maybe he wants to rotate out of them.
Yeah, I mean, he surely, like, I don't think Keltulas at this stage is unhappy if he drops to 50 supply. So let's see. I mean, at this stage, LawLiet should just try to... he's staying on 50 supply now, and I think that's exactly what he has to... Is he? No, he's pumping hippos again, so he's not...
Only one wisp in the gold mine though.
No, it's just a bug.
It's very sad.
It's 5 in there.
Oh, it's 5, sorry. Okay.
Oh, a new bug.
Nah, it's kinda... When you move the wisp in a certain way into the gold mine, it doesn't get registered as a mining wisp or something.
I see 5. Okay.
But yeah, very action-packed game again. Cool to see.
We are very,
Because
very blessed.
Market Freeway has oftentimes the potential to be a sitting fest, but yeah, with LawLiet in game, of course. Not really.
LawLiet, the new neutron of yesterday.
But yeah, now see Grady's bank. I mean, he knows when to hoard, and
Yeah, look at the gold count, like how it goes up. Like it's 100 per. I would say like 5 seconds. 100 per 5 seconds. So it's
Yeah, 5 bases. That's quite
and
a bit.
he's not even mining his main mine, which
Ah,
he's saving for later.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other two guys should peace because otherwise Gradient will just get to 30k in no time. And yeah, have fun fighting the Gradient base.
I was about to talk about this. Like, this is not normal, right? To build a base like this. This is absolute beauty.
Yeah, and it makes it makes no sense, right? Because it's so vulnerable against cluster rockets, and he knows. He is certainly aware. And we saw a lot of Gradient buildings die to like death and decay and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's a lot of value, but
it's his style, so he sticks to it. And I guess, I mean, because usually his Gradient is always 50 supply or 100 supply, never 80. And if he has if he's the only one remaining with a 100 supply army, like in some cases you just can't break his base anymore. But yeah, it's not the best layout, I would say.
Yeah, I like from LawLiet that he has 5 Ancient of Winds. That's a lot for a solo player, but he adjusted to it. That's cool. And still, only 5 Moonwells or 6. That's not how you should do it.
I mean, he has a few more at his expo, but still, I mean, he's pumping more. He has 2.5k, and he's pumping more hippos. And he should know, like, it's totally pointless. He can't kill a main base with hippos, so he won't finish a player now. He doesn't need XP at this stage. So what he needs is like gold. So there's absolutely no reason for him to attack because he doesn't leave Caltulas any breathing room to fight Gradient here. He is basically, like, what he does here is just winning Gradient time. Like, Gradient is on 50 supply forever, and Caltulas has no option rather than defending here.
Yeah, I mean, Caltulas is already RK6.
Yeah.
Sweet gold.
the most broken ultimate of the entire game. Thank you, Blizzard.
Yeah.
You can step against it.
What?
You can dodge it with the step.
Yeah, it's better than Charm in that regard, but it's still very overpowered. I mean, at least after they nerfed Alchemist in general, he's not played as often anymore. True. So, like, for some time, every single elf was playing Alchemist first, and even humans did. But fortunately, that's not the case these days, so that's good.
Yeah, I'm just memeing a little bit. I have a.
But you're right. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Of course I am. I always am. Some people say I'm not, but it's just fake news and hate speech against me. Anyway, we got another fight here. Alchemist is in a world of trouble, needs a stab, and once again, Gyros versus Hippos usually goes one way, but the AOE of LawLiet once again getting some pickups here and there. But
it was a good fight for him, but. Definitely a good fight. He didn't lose anything here. I wonder why Caltulas isn't asking for peace here.
Yeah, exactly. He should be an experienced player, yeah, and he should know Gradient. At least he's switching to tanks now. I like that.
Yeah, look what Gradient is doing. Like, Gradient is just walking around with single heroes and trying to find leftover items and creeps. Like, it's.
There was another big attack here, and they are crippling each other constantly while Gradient's sitting on 18,000 gold.
Yeah, so what we will, or what I hope we will see is that in the near future, Gradient will get teamed for like 20 to 30 minutes.
Nice.
Yeah, but
that's how long it will take to buy out his bank.
And I'm worried that that's not going to happen because we will see. I haven't seen many FFA games of LawLiet, so I'm hoping that he will do that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, definitely Caltulas has to be the guy that offers the piece.
Yeah, he should. And I'm really surprised he doesn't. I mean, he's a really good player. Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe Rusty. And
Yep.
yeah.
Not talkative today. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the game will be longer today, I would say. I guess it's already longer. Or...
Yeah, I
But
think
it
so
could
too.
end, yeah, it could end very quickly if like they continue and Gradient, like they continue for another 10 minutes. Gradient is up to like 40k, and then like they will have no chance with that.
Yeah, and I hope that Keltoras is offering peace before he's completely dead, otherwise LawLiet will not accept it. I assume.
Yeah, Keltulas has still a lot of expansions here, right? But it's still like they are burning all the gold. Sometimes if there's too much gold left on the map, it's and we see another fight here.
Oh.
Sometimes if there's too much gold left on the map, it's like bad for the player that is that has a high gold count, because he can't be everywhere at once. So his enemies can just try to keep him busy and hoard a lot of gold in the background. But if this is a perfect scenario for Gradient. Like they're just killing each other while they are burning the gold in those mines at the bottom or at the left side.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of an ego thing, right? From Keltulas here. I want to show LawLiet how good I am. Let's show who's better.
This is the vice champion of the world. I'm gonna show him.
I mean, sure, it's fun to fight versus LawLiet, I'm sure.
Oh, well, I don't think so, mate. Did you ever try it? I did, and oh boy.
You did? Cool.
Yeah. He killed me basically with wisps. If wisps had 1 damage, he would kill me with wisps only.
You have a level 6-7 Archmage though.
Not really, no. But hey, the overlay broke. What's up? Too much information. Okay.
And he needs to use the TP almost accidentally. He net teleported out with just his Archmage.
Yeah, this AoE damage is so sick, man. Everything is just dying.
Yeah, bye casters. Must feel good for now.
Now he's masterping out here. Ah, no, he's not masterping out. He's just masterping for the next expo. So.
I mean, LawLiet still has 5.6k. That's pretty nice, considering the pace of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was also surprised when I saw it a second ago. But still, I guess he will burn through it. I don't expect him to like preserve any of that gold.
He's also constantly in upkeep. So is Keltulas. Gradient still waiting, still chilling.
Yeah, Gradient will just wait until someone is attacking him, or unless he feels that one of the players is entirely dead.
Yeah.
And I mean, arguably, there's absolutely no incentive for him to act right now, because I would say he has decent levels with 100 supply versus like 70, 60 supply. He can certainly get his levels. So sometimes it's an issue if you have like 30k gold, but you have like 3 levels. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky to like face high level heroes, but I think with 555, he's in a decent spot. So he really doesn't need to fight right now.
Isn't this a super boring game for him? Like, if you're in a game like this, are you excited that... Huh?
It's like SimCity, like SimCity builder.
I mean, look at his main base. He's still busy with this Engine of Wonders.
I think it's like, I find it relaxing to just like build. I mean, of course you don't want to sit for 3 hours like this, but I would say for like 45 minutes, it's like relaxing. You walk around, you zip your coffee, and you just scout. And he's scouting with hippos here, so he knows what's going on. And, yeah, who doesn't want to be rich, right?
True. But oh man, these poor tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, these 3 heroes are so annoying as a human to fight against, because there is no unit that can do anything against them.
Yeah, he should just not fight at all anymore here. He should just mess TP into buildings if he wants to continue versus LawLiet, which he shouldn't, but...
Could go for
at least he has a Mountain King, so it's at least a little bit possible to damage the heroes.
With the Panda, he could, I guess he could do even less if LawLiet keeps his hippos out of range.
Yeah, but mass TP is always an option, and he goes now straight into the main base. So this forces a reaction for sure.
Yeah, and Calculus is down to 100 gold against.
Oh wow.
Wow, yeah.
Has very, very little income, so this should be relatively holdable, I'd say, with all the AoE spells. Tanks don't do too much. Dragonhawks. Why would you build Dragonhawks?
That's nice stuff.
I mean, usually you can nicely shackle elf air units above tanks, but of course not against cluster rockets. Maybe he still has his head still in the old patch.
Yeah, and the Night Elf base is so hard to fight because heroes regenerate their health and mana, so they have infinite breaths and infinite rockets. So you just die slowly.
Texas own paladin there. Worry. Okay, no AoE anymore. Hippos are safe. Can just heal up. Love to have tranquility now, but and Kel'Thuz's losing his base and most of his army, and finally offering peace.
And LawLiet is accepted. That's the like that's really something I value about like that distinguishes LawLiet from some other one-on-one players, that he's willing to peace. And
yeah, because as a one-on-one player, you see, oh, I beat this guy, let's finish him. Surely I don't piece him. Why would I? And then it just ends up in a 1v2 versus a player with 30k gold.
I mean, in this situation, I mean, it went for that long. Like everyone here should know that Gradient has a huge bank. Like there was no, even if you did not pay close attention, you like everyone should be aware that Gradient has a huge bank here. And now he's pumping, like Gradient is going up to 100 supply here. And this is a beautiful main base. Really nice.
It's also going to be a great army with a lot of diversity in it, with Bears for Roar, Hippos, Talons, Chimeras coming in, some Disable if he grinds a little bit and levels a little bit. It's going to be Tranquility on top.
A player's forces are under attack.
Yeah, and now,
yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, now let's see if Radiant is going for the instant attack, or if he's waiting for someone to attack him. We'll see. I mean, he's still staying, like he's staying on 80 supply for now, because I think he's still hoping to mine out those expos here on, like at least the two main expos, at least on 80 supply. But yeah, now he needs to get up to 100, I guess.
Alright, here's the attack. LawLiet just can't stand still. He has to attack someone. Rabies for the Korean.
LawLiet doesn't have any protection or heal scroll, so that's very bad. At least he has the Alchemist with heal spray, but let's see.
But I don't think Radiant saw the Hippos before, and
yeah. This AoE
nasty AoE, level 9 on the Tinker. And yeah, that was an air battle clearly won by LawLiet.
Yeah, Gradient is right back to 50 supply, and I guess he might ride help now. Just to try. I mean, that's of course the best, or not the best, but the easiest way to win the game, right? That in this situation, you pretend to have lost a lot, and you get some more time on 50 supply here, and maybe the human is even helping you now to win, which of course he shouldn't, but yeah. Gradient should go, if he wants to get levels, he should go 100 supply Hippos now, just to kill off all air units here of LawLiet, which I think he can if he has a 100 supply Hippo army.
Oh, mass teleport.
Ooh.
That's a kill.
Yeah, Calculus really wants that expo in the bottom left. It's 15k still.
So much for peace, huh? Backstabber.
Yeah, I mean, he really wants that expo, and sometimes you have to take a gamble, but of course it's a risk, and I think it pays out here. He gets a 15k expo, and LawLiet continues to work against Gradient.
Okay, things might even out a little bit. Of course, Gradient's still 30k in the bank. And he does build a lot of Hippos and Mountain Giants. New flavor to the mix.
A player's forces are
Did
under
I lose
attack.
my co-casters?
Just thinking about the game a little bit.
Okay.
LawLiet is in a tricky spot now because Calculus is not pieced anymore and not helping him, so they didn't get rid of any gold from Gradient pretty much.
But I think, I mean, if LawLiet continues like continues to keep Gradient busy for some time. I think Calculus can get up to 5k gold here easily. So I think that will help. But yeah, we'll see.
New base coming up here right in front of Gradient's base. Not too much left for him.
Calculus is
nice.
Calculus was attempting to go for a mass TP on LawLiet again, so that's I mean it's not good FFA sense here if you want to continue to fight LawLiet, despite the higher hero levels. I mean, at some point, if Gradient, I mean, LawLiet can win this if he plays it really well, and if Gradient continues to lose units, but Gradient should not lose this with his bank. Like, he has 30k, and he's now going to 100 supply of hippos almost.
The FFA players teaming up on my poor boy LawLiet. One is out. Gradient doesn't use the opportunity for an attack. 3 tanks, whoopsie, left alone.
Ching ching.
I love and hate this ultimate so much. Not much siege potential, but that's what you got your heroes for. And LawLiet and Tetulas are back to fighting. 80% of this game that we're just fighting each other. I can kinda understand you want to finish this. Or not finish this, but rather continue the feud.
Yeah, still very aggressive about the gold count of LawLiet. I mean, he is on 8k, even though fighting all the time. So yeah, great micro, of course.
Yeah, I think LawLiet is playing this much better than Calculus. Like, much better. Like, arguably a few unnecessary attacks early on, but I think at this stage, playing it fine.
Yeah.
And this is an interesting fight here.
Yeah, it's an interesting fight indeed. No one has any idea what's going on, but it feels like Gradient has the air superiority as LawLiet was slowly switching into like mountain giants as well, some lore units. The AoE has to prevail. I have no idea what's going on. LawLiet is back to 50. Gradient still at 90. Heroes kinda hurt.
Yeah, that was what I was saying. Like, if Gradient goes up to 100 supply almost solely hippos, even the best AoE cannot easily win that battle. And now that was exactly the fight that Gradient needed. He has Tinker level 6 now, Panda level 6, and Keeper is still a bit under leveled, but he really needed that one fight.
Blue win, GG, okay. 1,000 gold left or 1,200 gold left for LawLiet. Let's see if Calculus is doing something now.
Yeah, Calculus had his invisible knight, so he saw the fight, and he still knows about the gold count, so he moves now to Gradient, and hopefully mass TPs him for once. Okay, for now just scouting.
Okay, well, we have a little bit of a peaceful moment. We have a couple of supporters here. Thank you very much. Witch Doctor for the 27-month resub. Mr. GN for the 62-month resub. Less than 3. So it goes straight back. Bond King, 5-month. Let's go. And Smoking Jesus with the €5. All my savings are going to Ukraine now, but I can't not stop supporting you guys too, at least a little bit. Thank you very much. Very good initiative from you, of course. Very good act on your side. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And soon we have only a few mines left here. We have the big mine at the bottom left, but most other mines will be empty in a couple of minutes. I think almost. Oh no, there's one mid expo with 415k. So a few minutes more, and yeah, we see LawLiet trying to weaken the main base here.
Yeah, and it's pretty smart that he's only going with heroes and mountain giants, because Gradient is on exclusively hippos, so no need to throw in hippos against that. And he can make some damage. And Calculus is not falling for the easiest manip in the world.
Yeah, the guts on this guy. 30k in the bank and asking for help. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, this will only work against bad people.
But that's always something in FFA that's difficult, or it can be very difficult to decide when to help. Like, certainly not here, but at some point, even the biggest gold bank doesn't help you anymore if you don't have like buildings or moonwells left.
Ooh,
So-
the hippos should pull
Oh
back.
yeah.
Oh, no pulling back against
Wow,
this.
it was great. I mean, Gradient's heroes were away, so he had triple AoE, and he doesn't need too many hippos then, I guess. Pretty good.
Hippos continue fighting. -5 armor, of course, hitting hard. Panda ultimate on LawLiet's side. Alchemist gotta be careful. Invocation on 25 and all this craziness. Kinda nuts. Staff's are ready again. Wants to stay in. Keeper not level 6. Won't be level 6. 6 staff to get him out there.
Yeah, very nice micro again by LawLiet.
And
Great to see
LawLiet,
yeah, go ahead.
LawLiet almost, and I like how he stacked his heroes, except the circlets. Like I think he could need a few more consumables. But yeah, his heroes are so tanky.
Wow, 1.7k HP.
On 2 heroes. Oh man. Ooh.
I don't think he expected that staff. Wow.
Wow, the crits of the panda!
Damn.
272, have you ever seen that?
Nope. That's usually reserved for Blade Master. Holy moly. Level 6 Panda Dad. That's quite expensive. I mean, he's the one who can afford it, but for this fight, good win for LawLiet again.
Didn't we calculate at some point that, like, on a single hit basis, that the Panda crit is better than the Blade Master crit? Wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it
What?
is, right? It's just the attack speed that makes the Blade Master more, yeah, more
Higher DPS.
higher DPS, yeah.
Ah, is the base damage so much higher for a Panda?
No, the multiplier is different for the crit, I think.
Yeah, isn't
the
it
percentage
half?
is also way lower. Like it's 7% or so for the panda.
Yeah, I think so. I never got into the calculations, I think, but at some point we tried, but
That's why we got the chat. Chat knows everything. Chat has all the time in the world. Get your lazy ass off the couch and do some calculations.
there are only FFA players in chat from what I see. They don't know shit.
I mean, Side is in chat. He's pretty smart.
That's true, but he's not playing anything but undead heroes.
So LawLiet now says human have a lot of gold and pieces with gradient. So yeah, here comes the inexperience, I guess.
I don't see Gradient losing this. You may think, okay, he took a few shitty fights, but that's like sometimes in FFA, like I don't think Gradient lost that fight intentionally, but it can be to your advantage to lose a fight because it's your opportunity to drop to 50 supply, as he did, and because you appear weak and it allows you to like release some of the pressure. So in this case, like a Gradient like is playing it perfectly well. May seem boring, but if you want to win an FFA match against at least one player that is not super experienced, this is exactly how you can play it to be safe.
I don't trust you on that, man. I've seen the craziest turnarounds in FFA.
Yeah,
If I learned
it's not
something
over.
that and everything is possible at any moment. For example, getting a base rate with a mass teleport, absolutely possible at any given time. Moonwell's also dry. It's not the easiest fight for LawLiet here.
Now Gradient is moving over slowly because he doesn't. I'm not sure if he knows exactly how much gold Calculus has, but Gradient may want to at least. He wants to show his heroes to LawLiet, just to show some help without really helping. So, see.
Slowly but steady, the AoE prevails. The Paladin ultimate was kind of nice. Oh, speaking of Paladin, he's dead.
And the XP goes to Gradient, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh!
So that's the other advantage of helping.
Player's forces are under attack.
Yeah. The samurai was helping here for a second.
$35,000 gold, by the way.
Yeah, this might be a record for a streamed game, I guess.
On back to Warcraft, maybe, yeah. I
Yeah, I
think
think so.
the highest we saw was, like, the highest that I ever saw, I think, was on Hurricane Isle.
Players'
That
forces
one
are
match
under
that
attack.
lasted 6 hours, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
where everyone was hoarding. And there are so many gold mines, and I was, like, at that point I realized why Hurricane Isle was banned from competition in previous seasons. Because you have, I'm not sure if you have ever seen it, but on Hurricane Isle, everyone has has starting island, and you can't get off your island without air or zeppelins.
Oh, damn.
So you can hoard forever, and I think the highest vote count was 120k or something. So that was a lot. I mean, a lot of sitting.
A player's forces are under attack.
I think we've been up to like 60k lumber or something when Neutron had 6 shredders once or something. But yeah, for gold, this might be a new one.
Points.
True.
I mean, arguably you can burn through 30k gold more quickly than you would think. Like sometimes you see in 101 streams, if you observe them, sometimes you see like Twitch chat freaking out over like a player with like 2k gold.
Yo.
But you don't realize how quickly you can burn through gold if you're not like, if you don't micro your 100 supply army that well. And like 100 supply of chimeras are not cheap, right? You can, like, you lose a couple of times 100 supply and you are out of gold pretty quickly.
Okay, we got a couple of attacks here. Kel'Thuz's under attack from both players. Once again, this totally fine for Gradient's game plan.
Yeah, so a good FFA player is not only the best fighter, but they always know who is ahead in which situation, and both honestly clearly don't know that Gradient is massively ahead. So yeah, click and stake, click and stake.
For us, it's fairly easy, of course. We click on a building and we see the gold, but
Yeah,
if you just play it...
Yeah. I mean, they should both know. They fought each other for at least like 20 minutes straight, and they both scouted.
A town is under
Yeah, they both scouted Gradient, so they should be fully aware that he has a very big bank.
So with his
yeah.
Pincer, with his attack towards Kel'Thuz, he only has 2400 left, plus the 80 supply army. Is there any chance for him left?
Yeah, LawLiet thinks that Kel'Thuz is winning, and Kel'Thuz is thinking that LawLiet is winning. It's really a paradox, right?
And I mean, in FFA, anything can happen, right? Like, they can all of a sudden peace and now team down Gradient. Or Gradient is playing this very badly and losing everything. Or Gradient is losing all of his buildings, which is, I guess, the most unlikely scenario. But anything can happen in FFA, and usually the late game turnarounds are like the most fun part and the comebacks. But in this scenario, I think it's very unlikely that that is going to
We
happen.
got another 5k, guys, on 50.
Oh no way! He's getting up to. He's literally getting up to 40k. I thought you were joking when you said that. But if he's not spending anything, that's pretty much exactly 40k.
Yeah, he will get there. I mean,
Yeah, and he's so good in acting weak and still getting XP. So
yeah, almost level 7 Tinker here, or his Tinker will get level 7 here with those powers. And it's even a bit, like, I would say a bit greedy here, right? He's like, he doesn't have to kill those buildings here at the bottom right. There's no need for him to do that. Like, he will get his level 7 anyways, and there's no gold mine left. But I think, yeah, Gradient clearly knows how far he's ahead in gold.
Another base down, left-hand side. Gradient chilling. Kel'Thuz suffering. It's a lot of gyros. Could be a feast for Tinker and Panda. But not yet.
I mean, this is honestly, this is one of the most blatant display of like lack of FFA sense that I've seen in an FML game with like with players that, in this case, Kel'Thuz won a season, and he seems to be very rusty here. Like, there's no way to. You should always at least try to peace at some point and try to attack someone else to just see, like, you quickly get an. You get a feeling for the gold count if you fight someone, and if you attack, and if you see how carelessly they might lose their gold, or how how they defend their base. You can sometimes conclude how much gold they have roughly, but Caltulas never really tried to attack the main base of Gradient here. He never did.
It's just a blood feud between LawLiet and Caltulas.
And one of them will have top score, which is worth 3 points in FML, I guess. Unless Gradient is... I just believe at some point there will be not enough stuff left for Gradient to kill, except buildings. So, I mean, LawLiet is moving as main base here. So, LawLiet is not going up to 100 supply here ever again. And neither is Caltulas.
Yeah, and Caltulas still on gyros, which is pretty shocking, to be honest.
Yeah, give him 10 seconds with the Panda and the Tinker, and those will be gone.
Yeah,
Why exactly
we wanted
will...
to see some fireworks, but
True.
I'm not sure if he really understood it the correct way by getting his flying machines destroyed.
Why do you get more points if you're LawLiet and Caltulas? Is it just because hero levels, or...
What's top score? Because the killing stuff is like actively fighting, and high hero levels play a really big role in the end game scores.
Okay.
So it's like if you just hoard a lot of gold and then kill a lot of buildings, that's usually not sufficient to get past players that like found all game and have way higher hero levels. But then again, Gradient killed a few units and got his hero levels, or got his heroes to 6-5. So he's not that far behind.
Another fight between them. Mass AoE on both sides. Focus fire on the Alchemist. Shouldn't lead to anything. TP right next to him.
Yeah, and here Gradient doesn't even pretend anymore, right? He's just trying to get some XP, and he doesn't care anymore if...
he kills the Alchemist!
Yeah.
Because of course the Tree of Eternity was right there. And now it's 2-on-1 on LawLiet. How's that?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And yeah, it's... Gradient asked if LawLiet has 2 main bases now, since he moved his main base, which is like... yeah.
He's checking. He's like, whoops. Nope. Trees are moving. We are at 37,500 gold, ladies and gentlemen. Still at 50 supply.
Will we see him getting to 40k somehow? I mean, there is a bit more gold here in the southeast. I doubt he will get to 40k.
He could sell a unit. You should give him a call. Like, just to celebrate the 40k.
Yeah.
Now he wants a donation for his keeper.
Well, there's a donation for the Panda. We'll soon reach level 10, I believe, after all these gyros will be gone. No mass TP thanks to Cyclone. Focus fire on the Pally so he can't resurrect anything. Oh my god, what a massacre this is! Well, still some units alive in the tree stands. That was super close.
I don't get this. Like, I really don't get this, and I don't blame LawLiet anymore at this stage. Like, it's like certainly Caltulas' fault here that this game goes into one direction only. And I'm a bit sad. I was hoping this would be a bit more of a balanced game, but like, winning chance-wise, it's not balanced at all. And
just so you wait, the micro skills of LawLiet will prevail and will get rid of 40,000 gold without dropping too much himself.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe not.
I mean, if Gradient had other heroes, sometimes it can get a bit tricky. But then, like being Elf, if you have 100 supply of chimeras, especially on a map like this where you can hide above trees, there's just not that much you can do. Like even the worst player with 100 supply chimeras can kill a few remaining buildings. Like there's not, like it's not that difficult to do.
So LawLiet has no gold anymore. Caltulas at 700, which is basically no gold anymore. And only LawLiet is mining. It will be rough. Will be rough.
Yeah, Gradient knows exactly that. Like the LawLiet's heroes are the most annoying thing for Gradient here left. So after finishing off buildings everywhere here, like he wants LawLiet out, and then he knows like it's like that's the easiest path for him to win this quickly.
Yeah. Alright, we're killing more of the base. Gradient basically won this, or might win this game by doing nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how you can win games. And that's how. And
It's
that's
exactly
why
my game mode.
I mean, that's why sometimes in Gradient is cluster rocketing non-existing buildings. That's why I was when I played the Frozen Throne 20 years ago. I never touched FFA, or maybe I tried it once, but you always saw those ladder stats of some players having like 50-60% FFA stats, and I was like, I always saw that they're hacking or whatever because it seemed so impossible to do. But especially in ladder, if you're facing inexperienced players, it's so easy by just like some players can also win a lot of games by playing actively and aggressively. But if you are playing it like Gradient here, you can win a lot of games in ladder. If you're not like nowadays, you're mostly facing experienced FFA players on ladder. But if you're facing 3 inexperienced players, you will win these games 90% of the time, unless they team you by accident. You will win these games if you make it to late game. Because there's just no way anyone is hoarding as much gold as you are, and if no one else has more than 3 to 4k gold, they will always lose the game. So that's how, yeah. That's how if you invest a lot of time, you can win a lot of games.
Speaking of gold, we're at 39,610 gold for Gradient, and he's on the way to the bottom where there's more gold to be mined. We might see the 40k and more destruction against LawLiet's remaining buildings.
Gradient makes sure here that there's no way to hide buildings out on the map anymore, that he doesn't have to work for his victory. So he just... It's so crazy that he's killing heroes, he's blatantly killing stuff all over the map, and they should know how much gold he has, and yet they're just ignoring him entirely. I mean, LawLiet has no options here, but...
Yeah, honestly, I don't even know what I should say about this. This is I have never seen this, to be honest. It's such a big mistake.
Yeah, this feels a bit like a ladder game with players that are way less experienced than Calculus is. Like this is how Gradient probably wins like half of his ladder games, I guess. Just having a major bank and waiting for the right moment to get an army.
Okay, 2-on-1. The protection is gone. Floodgates open. And LawLiet just wants to survive, but...
I mean, I also wonder what is Calculus's game plan here. He has 300 gold. He knows that Gradient has his full base.
Yeah, no clue.
He needs LawLiet, so I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, especially as human, like even if there's no more gold on the map that he could mine, and there's even just against this main base, like how does he, without a panda even, how does he kill this like he can't even face this main base with Gradient's heroes. So there's, yeah, I absolutely don't get it, like what his plan is here.
A player's forces are under attack.
More creeping. Oh, we have to pay attention. The mining starts in the south.
Oh yeah.
He will get to the 40.
Oh, that will get to the 40.
He got some gold from creeping already, so we're getting closer.
Yeah, you will get it. Unless he's starting to pump before this is mined.
No, don't do it.
I wonder if he realizes that he's close to 40 and he does it just for that. I mean, he would always.
He even prepped here to get some gold.
Yeah. Get some items as well. He's going to. Is there a shop? No, this is the merc camp. But 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Woohoo! We got it. 40,000 gold.
Would have been fun if he immediately unrooted the Tree of Life here to show, just to signal us that he just did it for the 40k.
I mean, by now he could even announce it in chat, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
damn, that would be such a great move. I'm eating dinner. It's like 3 a.m. for LawLiet, I think.
Yeah. Is it that late? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, I feel sad for LawLiet. I mean, he's playing better than I expected after like the first 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm not sure if he should take half the blame here with Calculus, or if he should take like less blame, because usually the players that are more experienced in FFA should like guide, like you can guide another player to like help you, and you can inform them what's happening, right, and what you should do, and you're still relying on that player to listen. But I do feel LawLiet would be open to a conversation here, to some diplomacy. But yeah, there's in this situation.
Yeah, and Calculus backstabbed him before, so would you still
Yeah.
do it? I don't know.
Yeah, that was where it went downhill for them. I think at that point they still, even with Gradient having a 30k bank, I think they still had a chance when they just teamed up against Gradient's main base. But here,
And they're still teaming up.
I mean,
Unbelievable.
Calculus knows that Gradient beat Fetta in the beginning. Then they pieced for like 1 minute and had one fight, and then he backstabbed, and since then. So he knows that Gradient fought one time in this game.
Okay, big fight, all 3 parties involved. Gradient still not breaking 50 supply because yeah, still, why would he?
yeah, he's mining again. 2.5k left in the bottom
Yep.
middle.
LawLiet's bank 4.5. That's not the way we win it.
Ooh. I mean, he never even asked Gradient to make an army or anything.
No,
It's
no, no.
so
Just
sick.
bring a. He just said, bring your heroes.
And I mean, even without, like, I wonder why he's, like, if he really thinks that, apparently he does, but even without any army, Gradient could win against this main base over time with, like, a Tinker with a Dagger of Escape and a Panda with ulti. Like, a Panda ultimate alone can kill, like, 2 production buildings here, so even without ever getting to 100 supply, he could even easily kill LawLiet over time.
A town is under siege.
Yeah.
So, lesson for you, nobody kills LawLiet easily. But for the rest, you are probably right.
Over time. I mean, at this stage, like, even if it's, I mean, LawLiet is an amazing player, it's good, mechanically here in this one, but there's just nothing you can do, right? You're still...
Yeah, the Tinker even has a dagger, by the way, so...
Yeah, exactly. So you over time, you will be able to kill everything.
Are under attack.
And I feel sad for LawLiet. I know like he can take it, but it's frustrating being in his position here.
Yeah.
I guess. Do you think, RulaZ, is it maybe a bit less frustrating for him here? Maybe not realizing how much gold, like he doesn't seem to be willing to team up against Gradient here. So maybe it's would be more frustrating for an a more experienced FFA player here, who would sit in that position and would know that they have to team up against Gradient to have a chance. But
Yeah, totally. I mean, if he would know, he would at least suggest or ask how he will beat Gradient Space, or how he will beat Tinker, or anything like this. So.
I'm just fascinated. We're at another gold mine going to Gradient. LawLiet, for the first time in 15 minutes, was able to leave his base as Calculus left him alone for a little, but I think that time is over. He seriously holds a grudge.
Just try out Warcraft 3 Champions ladder and try to be 50 in the middle of a game for like 1 minute, without getting called out and teamed, and you already did a good job. So this is how sick this game is.
And exactly as you say, like how often, or most of the time, especially, I mean, of course, only with experienced players usually, but you get instantly called out after like dropping to 50 supply, or after losing a fight, like 10 seconds later, someone is calling you out on 50 supply. And here, Gradient, basically, like how long did he spend over 50 supply? I don't know, 2 minutes?
2 minutes, probably. And then he said, oh, that was a great mistake. I'm not paying these Warcraft taxes. Oh, Pelly almost dying, but nice stuff.
I guess, I mean, at some point, Gradient should, yeah, stepping out here. At some point, I mean, he could. I mean, it's a league game, right? So why risk it now if you know you have a safe win? If you like, if you play 20 minutes longer,
yeah,
you could just get an army now and win this in like a 5-minute span, easily. But like, if he continues like this, it will take another 20 to 30 minutes, I guess.
All right. Any other talking points we got?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think in this, I mean, we often have this chat, no chat discussion, right?
yeah.
Like, should FFA be with chat or without chat? And I think it's very important to realize that, like, chat can be super annoying, but it can also help sometimes. And usually games without chat highly favor players that do play FFA for a long time. So you may think if you're new to FFA, because the players that play FFA for long are usually also the ones that can take Manip and that don't really, that can overlook Manip. And usually the ones that are new to FFA are like most frustrated by chat. But it's usually not changing the outcome of the game, because just because someone tells you to attack someone doesn't mean you have to. And in this game, arguably chat didn't help much, but this game would have, I mean, you could argue it can't be more one-sided, but in this kind of game, you need chat to piece and to make sure you weaken, in this case, Gradient. It didn't happen here, but that's why chat can be a very useful tool, especially if you're playing with inexperienced players. Very often we see those free wins in no chat games because it's much harder to tell anyone anything.
This might be the end for Kel'Thuzad, right? He has basically no gold anymore. Archmage dead. He can sell some items. Yeah.
And yeah, Gradient has 100 supply now, so maybe you should consider to just attack.
I mean, we should think about what is human really thinking here. For him, maybe it looks like LawLiet had the whole left side pretty much mined, plus the best heroes. So maybe he's really overestimating his gold count by this much, so that he thinks, yeah, maybe LawLiet is now at 10k and Gradient is maybe at 20k, but it doesn't matter because LawLiet has higher heroes and better micros, so it's still better to team him. I mean, it's not like he's just stupid, right? And does random things or is grieving. We always have to think about what does he see and what does he think.
Yeah. I mean, with his heroes, right, and his gold count, I think for a long time he realizes he can't win either of the other players one-on-one. So in that case, he is reliant on one other player to help him against the other. Mm-hmm. The only issue is that he never relied on LawLiet to. Like, he was never trying to really weaken Gradient with LawLiet, but always trying to weaken LawLiet with Gradient's help. So usually what you want to do, you want to shift aggression. So you want to team up with one against the other, and then with the other against the first. So you always want to change back and forth to weaken all other players unless you have a chance to win, which in this game would have taken a long time. But I mean, if that's your only chance to win, in some cases you have to team one player for half an hour. Like that's FFA, right? You want to win, and some players may just leave, but if you really want to win, there's still a chance until a very late stage, even if you have nothing, by just weakening all other players until you are in a position to win. And yeah, in this case, it never happened because he made sure that LawLiet loses the same way he will.
We should join together. Okay, we have a little bit of a new fight coming up as Gradient's army is still not there, only heroes. LawLiet bring the entire army, but can't really get a kill. Everything's too fast, too much security. Oh, he's getting the Archmage back with a nice ulcer at the 6 o'clock.
Yeah, his last gold, he sold some items. Ooh, and he's attempting to go for the... Oh, he
That's the
killed the
Alchemist.
Alchemist. But yeah.
At what cost, though? Ah,
Yeah,
basically
but what's
nothing.
it worth?
Okay, no transmit at the moment. Gradient says, thank you, I will poke a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, we will see what his plan in the end is, because, I mean, we will see eventually.
But I think he plays like no role in like, I mean, it's over anyways, but he's like not making any difference. Maybe this MK can bolt down a hero, but like this can take a long time if Gradient continues to like keep his army back. But if
Gradient
Gradient
is
moves,
to 100, alright, didn't see.
he's 100 for some time now, but he's not moving out. If he does, he will. I mean, he will kill those chimeras in no time, and then he can just raid free over LawLiet's buildings.
Always keeps on being very, very careful about his heroes. He's poking out, sticking his head out a little, but never getting caught for it. Kel'Thuz's just waiting for the Archmage, finally back. Finally able to use Mastelli again, but with what? On what? Not much left. 2 tanks, few breakers. Pathetic army, really.
And now finally Gradient is moving out with 100 supply.
Oh.
We will put an end to this disaster here.
What do you mean disaster? We had a lot of fun until we got this
no, I
endgame situation.
really enjoy this game. Like, I enjoy casting this game with you, but I like hate who he wins. Like, I love like close games and comebacks, and basically like this is a 1 to 2 hour free win in the making, right? Because like 45 minutes ago it was pretty clear that Gradient would be almost unstoppable if they really teamed him, and I don't know, sometimes players can come to realization and then they start to team for real, but in this case they just never really did.
I mean, at this point, maybe LawLiet should just give up this base, hide some trees over there, and then maybe Kel'Thuz comes to clear our mind. I'm not sure.
Nah, this game is off. Like, there's no way this game.
Yeah, Alchemist not even getting intercepted from the top.
Ouch!
I mean, if Gradient would have still like 4-4-3 heroes, maybe. I don't know. Even then, Gradient would not lose this. But with his hero levels, this is over.
LawLiet not even complaining or calling him out for 100 supply. Kel'Thuz leaving before he sees what's really up.
Yeah,
Might
that's
still
also
be the
super
plan.
frustrating. Like if 2 guys team you and they don't see it.
Oh boy, okay, this might be the end of LawLiet. He fought bravely 2 against 1 for, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But being the early game aggressor oftentimes bites you at the end. Has to TP into his own base, always feels poor. And it's still
now
like,
he sees
what
it.
did we lose? What did we lose? We're still at 97 supply. Kel'Thuz finally sees it.
I guess Gradient will be forced to kill off his own hippos to get more chimeras. Finish this.
Okay, triple threat. Keeper. Oh, is he falling? No, staff again. Gradient also keeping the distance from Panda, from Tinker. Keep safe what he got.
Who's Kel'Thuz fighting here? Like,
Yeah, he's picking off low units from
LawLiet,
both.
yeah, that's.
Archmage gets the Holy Light maybe one last time. Clap to slow things down. So does Kel'Thuz realize that this probably was a little bit of a mistake what he did for 30 minutes?
I have no idea like what he's going to do. And maybe he's just aiming for top score, but he won't get it. I think it's at this point maybe Gradient has it. I don't know.
He's a pretty damn good FFA player, showing it once again. Not the most flashy, but pretty successful indeed. Now LawLiet down to 33, lost his tech, I think, also all his tech. Can go for a couple of dryads, but that's about it.
Yeah, and Ultimate dying to calculus here.
Like, it's so funny, even now that they saw this massive force,
Yeah.
LawLiet and Calculus are only fighting each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they would not have a chance, but they could at least like try just for the sake of it. Just peace now and just die together, like arm in arm. But instead, I don't know.
No, they fought each other for 1 hour. They are not going down together.
Yeah, seems so. Sometimes you see those like two players insulting each other for like 1 hour and like fighting the battle of their lives, and then
Oh,
all of
Oh! Wow, they finally figured it out.
does it help him to know if he has like 8 or 10 chimeras? I'm not sure if that makes a huge difference. He has 39 supply and 96 gold.
Yeah, with 30,000 gold and 100 supply here. Okay. Let's see how good LawLiet's micro is.
yeah, those Centennial Chimeras, it's nothing you can do pretty much.
Just Dispel.
I don't know, like, where should have Gradient spent his gold? Like, I mean, I want, like, the Calculus never fought Gradient, and he was, like, there was no real gap where he stopped fighting LawLiet, so, like, even if you, like, Gradient cannot have less than 15k gold here, which would still allow him to win this easily, so I'm not sure why you would think he can't be, or he's not on 100 supply in this situation.
Now we're kind of getting there, but
A player's forces are under attack.
Tinker gets rid of all these buildings again. In the middle, LawLiet and Calculus, they see each other. Will they fight each other? LawLiet
I
is...
think no. Now they're at peace. I mean, it's a bit late, but I imagine they win this now. Imagine they win this. But I mean, if it would be like, you can't throw games like this in theory. Like, you can lose a lot of buildings against those heroes quickly.
Yeah, the problem is LawLiet is revealed and doesn't have a tree or gold.
Yeah,
or wisp,
and Gradient
nothing.
and Gradient is not going to let this go. So it's not going to happen to him. But yeah, I mean,
A town is under siege.
They can try. I mean, it's only, what is this, 12 engine protectors, 14 engine protectors. Won't take time at all while Chimeras are coming, Panda's coming, Tinker is coming. All knocking on the door. Yep, good luck! Wow, this feels so hopeless.
it's nice to see some of those APs die here with this mess AoE, but what to do.
I
LawLiet,
think LawLiet gets the high score, so he gets 15 points.
Do you think he has? I think at this point Gradient has to score maybe.
Do you
like,
really think?
level
10, 10,
wise,
10 heroes?
almost. Level wise, he. Yeah, I would. I think LawLiet has it, but I'm not 100% sure.
LawLiet was eliminated. Disconnect. He's just A-clicking these bases now. Best feeling in the entire game. After sitting on 40k gold.
It's a can't deny, like, people hate it, but it's a great feeling to like just bulldoze over bases with like 105 cameras.
Oh yeah. So what's left? item-wise. There's a couple of staffs, but I guess that's it. Yeah.
So will Gradient announce his gold?
No, he doesn't.
I mean, they'll see it in the post-game screen. Pally dead.
Oh, now I have to explain to Gradient how to report his victory in the Google form.
Does he know what this Google is?
I did think so. When I joined the FML community back in 2017, he was barely speaking any English.
Oh.
Like it was really hard to communicate with him. But his English got really, really good, and some of his spelling errors are like intentional, or most of them. But it's impressive how he improved over the last 5 years.
The power of Warcraft, educating us all.
Yeah, for sure.
Not this Mountain King though. Do we have cluster rockets? Nope.
And Tangled nerfed. It was nerfed, right?
Ah,
Or it
Blink. Was it nerfed?
I think it was buffed again, alright? The range was nerfed only for one patch, and then they buffed it again, like the range of Entangle.
I don't remember. That's so
I think
long
they did.
ago.
Yeah. I mean, they certainly nerfed it at some point, but I think they buffed it again.
Yeah, if a spell certainly needs a buff, then definitely Entangle.
Yeah, sure.
Cluster rockets not enough.
Do you think this Gyro can win it?
Oh yeah, he's very... I mean, what can he possibly do against it with Tinker, Panda, a million hippos?
I mean, he's moving the Gyro actively, so I wonder what he's like trying to do with this. Is he trying to use it for scouting?
Maybe for base laming.
Ooh, and the star. Here comes the star.
Boom! And Mastelli. Oh, keeper, keeper, keeper!
Oh, this feels so sad, like so pointless.
Yeah, like
Like how is he, like, what's his plan here? This is like, sometimes it's like in a one-on-one, sometimes you have to realize like it's over. And in a three-way, I feel most people are still leaving too early. Even if you're way behind, you can hope to survive and get ahead at some point if you have time to stay in the game. But in this situation, like, you can just leave instantly.
Okay, one building outside. Do we have any... we don't have gold, right, to build anything, so that's not an option, really.
76 gold versus 33.
It's close, though! It's very, very close. Only 3 times the supply.
The sign of good balancing. If one player has 30k and one player nothing.
They allowed it.
yeah, someone made a mistake.
Alright, time to kill the Archmage, then there's no Mastelli anymore, and then I guess no hope? But okay, Pally made it back, but yeah. No chance at all! Still 22 supply somehow.
Gradient should transition out of those hippos, like that's... He has so many hippos. Let's get more.
Oh yeah, give some suggestion to the player who still has 33,000 gold.
Yeah. Maybe I guess after you decided to like sit for 1 hour and then delay your free win, I guess it's like fine to finish it now. I guess Capitula should leave now, yeah.
GG! Second FFA game goes down and goes to Gradient, the legend.
And the top score was kind of close. LawLiet slightly ahead of Gradient.
Damn.
So 3 more points for LawLiet. Maybe, yeah, it's a bit of a
100,000 resource score. Not bad.
Yeah, you see, like, look at the if you look at the resource tab, like you have LawLiet mined at least 57k, but he lost like not half of it, but almost 20k to upkeep. While Gradient mined 80k and lost only 7k.
Yeah.
So Gradient had effectively 70k to work with, more than 70k, while LawLiet had like I don't know, less than 40k here.
But to be fair, Gradient didn't use half of his gold.
True. True. Good point.
Yeah, I think Surf still the top scorer for LawLiet, so he will only get 5 points less than Gradient for the win. Yeah, I would be curious about the human's perspective, like what was his plan. That's pretty much the most interesting part about this game, I feel.
You're probably on a Discord with him. Go ask him. Nicely,
Yes.
with a
you
mention.
don't want to rub it in. You don't want to rub it in usually, but and also like it's so much easier from an ops perspective, right? Like there's you always know better when you observe a game, but this was really not like as a former FML winner and experienced FFA player, this would never happen to you, like never ever. This was not a good look.
I had a lot of fun for the first, I don't know, half an hour, 3/4.
Yeah, I agree. It was action-packed game.
Sure.
A lot of fights, just bad decisions in the end. But yeah, other than that, I still enjoy it.
100%. Do we have any other games scheduled yet for FML?
Yep, first round has a couple of more games, but it may take a couple of days until we get to them. I think next week we will see a few more, and yeah, as usual, I will let you know as soon as we have them on our schedule, and then you just let us know if you can make it, so we see some more FFA.
Wonderful. We also have, of course, the War3 Champions FFA coming up, RulaZ.
Yeah, and I'm really excited. I think on the April 10th we have the first qualifier, and then 1 week after the second qualifier, and Saturday the big final, including Quest, including Lilo Army. So really experienced players. They are at the top of their game, and I'm 100% sure that we will not see mistakes that we can see in these earlier rounds. But yeah, it's still nice to see that how FFAs can go if not everyone is making correct decisions. Because so far we only saw the best players pretty much of the game facing against each other, fighting until the last building, balancing down perfectly. But yeah, FFA is very complex, very complicated, very difficult to keep an eye on every player, when he was 50, when he's 80, how much gold, how many mines he had. All of this influenced the game and their decisions, so it's not very easy. And we saw it this game because I'm still convinced everyone was playing for his win. But yeah, earlier rounds, of course, the level is a little bit lower, and then the more we go into the finals and the Warcraft 3 champion finals, the skill level will rise.
It's gonna be great, everybody. More FFA here on Back to Warcraft. HighTac, RulaZ, thank you so much for joining this, for organizing this, for bringing FFA back to glory, I think, for still sticking with this game mode. Absolutely lovely evening. If you have any shout outs, any plugs, any promotion you want to do, stage is yours, mates.
Yeah, as usual, as yesterday, thanks to you and yeah, everyone. Thanks for watching, and if you want to play FFA, like, feel free to just search on W3 Champions Ladder or join our Discord by going to ffamasters.com and then just click on the Discord link at the top right.
Yeah, that's it for me. It's fine.
Okay, man of few words. Once again, I show the home page here. Just look for FFA Masters League on Google. It looks a little weird because I got some filter on top of stuff, but there's the news, there's all the links you need, and maybe you take part in the next FML season or just join the War3 Champions FFA ladder. It's fun, and I think Dennis is streaming a lot recently. Lots of people are streaming, so check out the left-hand side of warcraft3.info. FFA streams, link there, of course, as well. I'll be online for a bit. Maybe I come back online with a ladder stream, but not 100% sure. That will be later this evening. Thank you for the support. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spreading the love of FFA, and see ya!